We're going to tell the I'm going to tell the story, and we are about the Tin Man on the barn in back of us. Back in 1900, my great grandmother, took my father, who was at that time they lived at Hillendale, where Hillendale Golf Course is now, because he was born in that house. So when my father was 5 years old, probably around 1900, she took her horse and buggy with him in town to Ithaca to buy a new pair of cowboy boots. And so they went in to a shoe store, which the name of the store was,
I
can't remember right at the moment, but it's on written up. And so he got a pair of cowboy boots. And for payment of the cowboy boots, they had got this Tin Man back in 1900. And to pay for them, they had to display it on their barn, which they did at Hillendale Golf Course. At that time it wasn't, but and so from there, it came here in 1906. And so it remained on the barn ever since 1906 here at this site.
There was an older
And
barn here.
And these are the boots. So they are that old. And it is quite the story for the Tin Man.
There used to be an older barn here, and the sign was on it. 2010, we took it down, and we wanted to use the 12 by 12 hand-hewn beams in the new barn, but they were so rotted it was pathetic. So we had the old barn taken down, and then had this one built in 2010, and that's how we got this building.
And the Amish saved the original piece out of the barn. That's what's on this new barn of the Tin Man. And Willis, of course, was my maiden name, and now Hetherington. But and so this is where I grew up all my life. I've lived in this place. So you figure since my father moved here in 1906, and so he farmed here all his years, of about 200 acres here in Enfield. And so there's many stories in this town, from the Grange to the church to the fire department. And just next door is where I went to school for 8 years. At the Enfield School, I went. From the Enfield School, I went to Ithaca High School. And Ed is from Syracuse.
Oh,
Then
Syracuse,
Watkins Glen.
Liverpool, Watkins Glen. I do make these wooden flags, and I have many different styles of flags, and they're put together quite well, and they're glued and screwed and everything else, and they come with a wire on them to help hang them. So.
That happens to represent a fire department.
And EMTs.
EMTs.
So that's the story.